Now, here's another school that just started spring ball, but as important of a quarterback competition as we're going to have in college football this season. Ohio State, just getting rolling now. It's Lincoln Kienholz. It's Julian Sayin. There are rave reviews around Julian Sayin so far. That's not a knock on Lincoln Kienholz. That's just the intel we're getting right now, per Pete Nakos as well as the folks in Columbus. Now, it's so early. If you're skeptical of this kind of feedback, I don't blame you. But I would also flip that idea on its head and say it's so early and you're hearing this kind of volume around a Julian Sayin. Like, that means it's obvious. That means people can see it. Like, anytime we said this about John Mateer, I'll say it again here. If you can tell 2 practices in that somebody is standing out, when we're doing routes on air and 7-on-7 and we're just kind of getting our feet underneath us, when somebody stands out, take note of that. Because it usually isn't a thing where you pop in the first or second practice and then it's like, oh, well, actually, no, that wasn't really what we thought it was when we got to practice 14 and 15. I think it's real. Like, the release is all you hear about Julian Sayin from folks close to that program. Media members talk about it that are watching the open practices. I think if Ohio State has what I would call stable circumstances, offensive line is solid, running game is good, Julian Sayin's your guy. That's how I feel about it. Now, if we have unstable circumstances, offensive line isn't quite what we thought it would be, running game is good but not at the level we need it to be, then the Lincoln Kienholz discussion becomes a lot more interesting. We saw this at A&M a year ago. I'll refer to it again here. Connor Wegman might have been a better passer of the football. Like, this time last year, how many of us were saying, hey, Connor Wegman now make some noise at A&M. We'll see. Maybe he's a Heisman guy. There was that kind of discussion around him because of how talented he was as a high school prospect. However, what was the problem with A&M? Not a lot of juice offensively. More notably, they could not protect Connor Wegman. And so what do? You go to the more mobile option. Lincoln Kienholz is a freak show athlete here. I mean, like windmill dunking kind of freak show. But again, all things considered, I would be surprised if Julian Sayin doesn't end up winning this job. There's not the safety blanket of what you had a year ago in the run game. You lose 2,000 yards of production in Travion Henderson and Quinshon Judkins. This is crucial that you have a guy that can get the ball to your playmakers on the perimeter. All right, like this has got to be dialed in. It's a national title kind of variable, in our humble opinion here. One more thing I'm watching, though, as we try to gather more intel around this thing, Letterman Rowe, Spencer Holbrook, Mick Walker. I'm really interested to see what the intel is around these guys winning the locker room. Because Lincoln Kienholz has been around for a while. Same thing with the Gunnar Stockton at Georgia. Like, dude has paid his dues. How do you handle stepping into all that comes with being QB1 at Ohio State? Notice what I said. Being QB1. Not playing quarterback, but you are the quarterback at Ohio State. Like, in terms of people in Ohio that are visible, you and Ryan Day, and then, like, I don't know, whoever the quarterback of the Browns is, I suppose. And even then, they're probably behind both those individuals. So you got to be able to handle everything that comes with it. Will Howard, they talked about him being one of the most liked guys in the locker room. I don't think either of these guys is super polarizing at that level. I don't think anyone's saying, man, I don't like Lincoln Kienholz, Julian Sayin. That's not my point. What I'm saying is, are you able to be the front-facing person and win the locker room and all those things that come with this job? Get Texas game 1. Going to take some mental toughness. Going to take some extra juice to be ready for that game, but I cannot wait to watch this thing unfold again. A lot of great things being said around Julian Sayin. He's still our pick to win this job, and would have to imagine he's the betting favorite as well as it stands right now.